welcome everyone. We're shooting early today,
Yes,
This is an
still light
early shoot.
outside.
Yeah. Even with my light on, it's still light outside. Usually main light is my light, but it's a lot of light in today, so you can see everything. But yeah, new episode. Got some stuff to cover. Another album drop. Another very anticipated album drop this weekend. Did his numbers. But we're gonna start off with we're gonna review the album, how like our thoughts on the album, and we'll talk about all the numbers it did. Bree, did you listen? And did you enjoy the album? Yeah, you wasn't feeling it?
I think so to me, I when I think of Drake's best music, I think of the albums that didn't have a lot of features, was focused solely on like the music part, right? I feel like this album had too many features. I feel like he was just trying to show he knows people. I feel like it was just too much. It wasn't he wasn't really focused on the
It
music
wasn't the
part.
Drake that you used, Drake you wanted for that album.
Right. I just felt like it was just too much. I felt like it was too many features. It was just too much. It was just too much. I couldn't.
Some of them,
I
some of the features it worked because
no
some of the
no.
songs it worked. I
Yeah.
like.
I just feel like when you over feature an album, it's more about the people you featuring on the song than yourself. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I just felt like it was just too much feature. I do love the first song.
the champagne poetry.
Right. I love that. I could replay that over and over. And again, it was because it gave me that old Drake feeling. The album itself was okay. Um
Told you 21 records. Told you it's gonna be at least 20.
you jinxed that shit, Johnny, and that's why there was 21 fucking records. And it took me about 2 days because I had to split it. I don't listen to music just for like just to listen. I listen to the words, I listen to the beat. I have to like actually get into the music. So again, in this case, I finished listening to Donda and Kanye won. Kanye West won this one for
Oh
me.
no,
Production wise.
I think Donda was better than CLB because when I first listened to CLB, like the first listen, I was listening to the records. I'm like the obviously Champagne Poetry was the intro track was cool, but as I was going along, I was like it didn't really it didn't really hit me. But then
Right.
when you get the song with Jay-Z was like the first record that was like, okay, you know, and that's a few tracks in before we get to the record with Jay-Z. I think that's the Jay-Z record's like track 7, track 8, somewhere along the
Uh,
lines of that. But
no, I think it's like track. I think it's like track 4, 5, Johnny.
5, I think it's 5 the earliest, but it might be like 6 or 7, but it might be
Yeah,
5
it's
early.
it's 5.
It's 5. Okay, so yeah. So it wasn't that many songs in between, but it's like I like the song with Kid Cudi. Thought the song with Kid Cudi was dope. And also, like you said, when Drake does the features, it's more about the artist. Because sometimes when Drake does the features, like he does that where he like sounds like the artist that he features on the record. Like he flows like them, and he puts like his Drake sauce to it. So he
Yeah.
kind of sounds like them, but he puts his Drake seasoning to it, and it's Drake. So I can see that, but I told you nowadays with the whole streaming thing, everyone's aiming to put so many songs out because it helps make more money when each album is streamed.
Right.
So it's more about now. For more, I'm not gonna say every artist is like that because most artists is more about the quality, but nowadays the whole streaming and that's how people get their money is more about the quantity. Everybody just wants
Right.
to put out so much, and it's like if each does do put out 25 tracks, and each track gets a million streams. That's already 25 million streams for each record, and then you're gonna have the 4 or 5 records that's gonna be like the major players is gonna get you at least 20 million streams on its own. But yeah,
Right.
it's more about just flooding, flooding all the platforms like Apple, Spotify with
Right.
as many records as you can.
Yeah, I mean it was cool.
I was like, I don't know, but when I listened to CLB, I felt like when I listened to what was it? Scorpion, his last album, I felt like the records just hit more on Scorpion than it hit on CLB. I
Right.
feel like I think he's in a Drake's in like in a comfortable spot. Like we all know he's on top of the game. Regardless, people love Drake, and he's sitting on top of the game for he's been on top of the game for a few years now. But he's the hottest artist, so I feel like he put work in on it. But I felt like it was like just a comfortable album. Like he put an album out because regardless of not criticism or not, people's gonna love the album because with these artists they got their cult following and people's gonna love it. But I don't know. I felt it was a little underwhelming, but I have to listen to it again. That's just our first listen. I felt it was underwhelming. I'll listen to it again. Like after you listen to it a couple of times, that's when you could really say, how good our album really was.
Right.
But I don't know. I felt like again the Don versus ELP. I felt like Don the hit like our first listen hit more than CLB.
I
But
also feel like we cannot compare the albums, and I'm gonna tell you why.
you
One
could
is really one
yeah.
is really a gospel kind of feel, and the other one is more just like a rap kind of feel. And so that's why the only reason why I'm not comparing it is because it's two different feelings. But I must say I'm a little disappointed in just the I don't know. I'm just a little disappointed in the way Drake did this. It's a lot of features, a lot of unnecessary features. If he would have kept it simple, I'm pretty sure Drake would have killed the shit. But because he has so many features, so much shit, it was too much.
Well, I would say is I felt like also not comparing the two, the Donda album was a little more like a personal album because obviously it's named after Kanye's mother, so it had like a more personal passion behind it versus CLB was more like I feel like it wasn't really nothing personal. It was Drake on top of the game just talking this shit. Because he was throwing shots on records to everyone. Sending his shots out. So that's the differences. But since they have their little squabble, people's gonna compare the albums, even though they have two different tones and feelings behind their albums. They're gonna compare because if Drake and Kanye wasn't at beefing with each other or whatnot, I don't think the albums would be compared. It would be like, oh, Kanye did this, Drake did this, and we'll be moving to talk about the next album that's coming out. But since they have the issue, is the comparisons of whose album did better. Because when Kanye came out, Kanye broke the Spotify record in a day. But then Drake came out and he broke the Apple record and the Spotify record for streams in the day, which is all accolades, is dope. But that's all about the hype they built and then the cult following they have. But then the second day streams, Kanye's second day streams is actually higher. His first day was 94 mil, and then his second day was 102 mil. So it was a bump up. Like people heard the album, and it was a bump up. The second day, Drake's had like a 130 million plus first day, but his second day was 89 million, which is a big drop off. And also with that is Drake really did not Drake, Kanye really did 4 stadium shows and played the same song and still had a second day rise, which is incredible.
Here's my thing, all right? So when I think of good music, I think this is the problem. And when I think of streaming music, I think people artists need to stop putting music out where you just want to listen to it once and then move on to something that you like. I'm a type of person that if I like your music, I'm gonna go back and listen to it over and over again. I'm gonna stream your shit over and over again.
Yeah, the replay value. Some records, a lot of records don't be having the replay value.
Okay, right. And I just feel like you gonna disagree with me, but both of their albums are not replay value.
You can say that because they have certain records as replay value, but they did 20 plus each.
Right.
Both did 20
Their
plus.
albums are not replay value.
Overall,
right?
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You can't really bump to their shit like, and this is a bad way to think of it, but you can't really bump to Kanye shit in the club. You can't really bump to his shit in a party. Mm-hmm. You can't really bump. You gotta be like in the mood to be into that mindset to bump Kanye, and not every day are you in that mindset.
Yeah. You just have that one day. It's like, yeah, I'm throwing some Kanye.
Right, and Drake is his shit this time was the same way. Like, yo, I'm thinking like, yo, how am I gonna bump to this shit? I can't even bump to this shit. Like, okay,
I felt like, you know, I did tell you I felt like Drake's gonna have like, you know, more fun records, more like outgoing records for people that's gonna really listen. But I said, you know, it's first weekend, first listen. You gotta give it a little time. See, like give it like
when I think of Drake and I think of Take Care, right? So when I think of Drake, I think of Take Care. I could bump that shit all day, every day. Like I could literally go back to Take Care and bump that shit.
But
when I think of Kanye, I think of College Dropout. And I could bump that shit all day, every day, like no problems. I have no problems bumping that shit, and you know what I'm talking about. So, like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
no, I understand what you're saying.
There's shit that you could bump all day, every day, and this is just these two projects are just not one of them. I cannot see people bumping this shit all day, every day. They bumping it now because it's new and it's out, and that's why
there's hype behind it. There's a lot of hype behind it.
But there's no way. I'm telling y'all, like, I'm not gonna bump this shit all day, every day. And so when I think of good music, I think of being able to bump this shit all day, every day. If I choose to, because you gotta choose to. But you get what I'm saying? Like that option is not here.
This is early reviews. You know, we should come back like in a month and like, you know, listen to it again, both albums, and see how we feel in a month. But this is like, you know, early reactions to it. But yeah, my first listen, it didn't really wow me. Like,
it is what it is.
Dude, that is what, you know. But it's gonna still do what it's gonna do. It's breaking records, so he's gonna get his accolades, and he still got majority love regardless. Like a lot of people, you know, was showing love to him, especially on social media. Even Trey Young was talking about. He tweeted when we were gonna start that conversation, and when Drake passed Jay, he got a little backlash over it. But he, you know, that's how.
Those are the millennial. I mean, those are the.
I'm saying, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some other people that feel that way too, because. But that's part of part of the feedback some got. So for this album, it's been more positive feedback than negative feedback, you know. But he did his numbers. My honest opinion, or first listen, it's gonna take me a couple listens before I could give like a solidify if it's cool, fire, good, whack. But my first listen, I thought it was alright. It was a cool album. It wasn't nothing spectacular, nothing crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be listening again. 21 songs is a lot. I ain't got time for that.
And he put out the video for Too Sexy, which was a funny ass video. I feel like that whole song is just a play around record. They was showing with the song, and they did the same thing with the video, playing Kawhi Leonard in the video. It was just, you know, they had fun doing that shit. They had fun trolling, but that was the first video he put out. It's doing its numbers also, but I just felt like that song was just a play around record, and it was like they got in studio and they just played around and they put it out. So also with CLB, there was some controversy because when they looked at the credited writers, like how albums. I don't even know where they put that list at anymore because you got the album, the track listing, the little booklet.
Nah, if you go to Apple Music, I don't know if you have Apple Music, but
Nah, I have Apple Music, but I've never really. I I don't even know what like after a long time that when you bought CDs, that's where you go through the booklet and it'll tell you all the credits. But I don't know. See albums. So I guess that's what they do now. They do it
I
on
think
the
they do. So if you click a particular song, uh, and you go to the bottom of the song, basically it gives you. So I don't want to like show the song because I don't know if it'll block it out, but you can see that is, and Lady has been doing that too for the album. So, but you'll see like it was written by, so it's at the bottom, totally at the bottom. So once you get to the ending of the song, it says written by Crawford Aubrey,
oh I
Graham,
just played the
Aubrey
record.
Graham, Jay Young, Jonathan. So it basically tells you that so basically, if you go all the way to the bottom, guys, it'll give you that information that you need.
Oh, that's something I learned from you because I was like, after a while, I was like, what?
So
They just
I
post.
usually no, so I usually like to go to the bottom to see who wrote it because you'd be surprised how many people wrote like so Neo
Of
wrote a
course.
bunch of songs for people. So I like to see who writes the song
Mm-hmm.
because it's actually it to me it's entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
There's people that really be
so
writing records, and you'll never
right,
know sometimes.
right. So and plus you got to give credit where credit's due. If
Mm-hmm.
they did write
Oh,
the record, you want like
yeah.
or they produced the record like Hitmaker. A lot of people, you know, didn't know Hitmaker was like making a bunch of songs in 2018, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go in the bottom, it'll show you like, yo, Hitmaker was the fucking producer of a lot of these shit. So
But yeah,
I
I
like to
never
know.
knew that because I used to be like, I thought they just posted it. It was like, and then that's where they got the information on. Because back in the CD days, there's the booklet, and you go through the booklet, it'll tell you who did what and everything for each track. But yeah, with Certified
Right.
Lover Boy, I believe obviously, R. Kelly's locked up. I'm pretty sure Drake sampled the R. Kelly record, and people wasn't really too, a lot of people with their opinion on social media, and it wasn't big fans that Drake gave R. Kelly a credit. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna sample someone's song, you know,
Whether they in jail or not, you still got to give them the credit.
yeah, like for one, he has to clear the record also, and maybe like I understand people saying like that, like R. Kelly's gonna get some money off the record, like we're like because but he at the end of the day R. Kelly made the record, so the song that Drake made wouldn't be made if R. Kelly didn't make his
Right.
record, and they use that as a sample to create the next record. But obviously we know what R. Kelly's in jail for, and it's a lot of stuff that he's fighting, but and no, not saying he's guilty, but most people believe he's guilty of the crimes that he's accused of, which is some
Again,
fucked up shit. But
we
he,
gotta sometimes we gotta put that to the side and realize his music is still relevant in certain musicians' life. So if they want to use the beat, like they will still have to unfortunately go through
yeah,
uh
probably his attorneys and his team.
right.
So yeah, the record's definitely unclear. So I know R. Kelly, I'm pretty sure could use whatever money he was gonna get from this, and he was gonna clear it. Or maybe even without the money, maybe R. Kelly would have cleared it. Who knows? But no, Drake sampled him. It wasn't like Drake. And realistically, that also I don't even think Drake and R. Kelly even spoke. It was Drake had someone from his team talk to someone on his team, and then that's probably how it happened, and they cleared the record. But
Right.
I don't think they should. The backlash that we got on social media shouldn't have been backlash
Right.
it got, but it is what it is. This times we're in now. People just want nobody, like, especially, the crimes that he's accused of. They don't want, people rubbing. And it's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't associate with people like that. But at the end of the day, he's locked up, but he hasn't been proven guilty yet. So he's innocent till proven guilty, and we'll see how that plays out. I think the trial should be starting up soon, and when that trial hits, we'll cover it. But Drake sampled him. If you enjoyed the song, you enjoyed it. If not, didn't, and you don't want to mess with the song because who he sampled, hey, that's your choice. You choose what you want to do, but it is what it is.
Right.
But moving on, more. My man Drake was in the news all weekend. So on the night that he dropped his album, well, Friday night, I want to say, because it came out at like 2 a.m. Friday morning. But that same night, Drake was on his radio show, and he played more records that wasn't on the album. He played some records that haven't been released. He was on the radio playing a song, but so happens he got wind of a Kanye diss record. Someone leaked the record to Kanye, and not to Kanye, leaked the record to Drake, and Drake played the Kanye record with Andre 3000's verse, and obviously Kanye was dissing Drake, but I think there's more of what Kanye said than more of what he said on the record than the actual leak. Because I'm not gonna lie, from what I heard, it sounded fire. So I was like, I don't know why would you leak it, but it's a certain lyric I feel like he said to probably make Kanye look a little clowny. It's the part where he was like, he told Drake to stop playing with me on GD, and that being a gang, and you're supposed to be this gospel God person, and you're talking about stop playing with me on a gang. I feel like Drake put it out to be like, look at this clown, like he's talking all this God stuff, Jesus this, Jesus that, but he's talking about stop playing with him on this gang, like on this gang. Which is it's funny that Kanye said it, but I feel like most people when they heard that or when they heard that lyric and heard him say it, probably had the same reaction. Some people probably have the other reaction, but that reaction was that's how I feel like that the reaction was gonna be. But that shit was funny though. But overall, I thought the song was dope, and I felt like he should have put that out, but for obvious reasons, he didn't. Maybe he didn't want to put this in Drake record on his.
No, it wasn't that. Andre 3000 was like he wasn't gonna allow the song to come out, or he was gonna say take off his verse because
because he wasn't with the dissing.
He didn't want to be part of that shit. Listen, here's the thing. When I think of a diss track, I think
it was like it wasn't real diss. He just told him stop playing with him. Stop playing with him.
I think the problem here is Drake just needs to grow up in the sense that, why you put that out yourself? Mm-hmm. You look clownish. Why would you you get what I'm saying? Why are you putting this shit out yourself? You look stupid. Drake, just focus on your shit. Focus on your album. That's it. Cause you're Drake. I hate when stars do this shit. They want to act really immature, really all this other shit. Especially when you big. You don't need all these gimmicks. You Drake. Why that didn't even make sense. Andre 3000 was very upset that it was put out because again, he didn't want anything to do with it.
I seen a post. He talked about how he lost his mother, and Kanye lost his mother, and and then that being like the album's named after Kanye's mother, and it was like that connection. Like we both lost our moms, and we're gonna come together, make a record, and it's gonna be like it's like a connection that they have, that something that they could share. It's like we both went through it. We're both artists, and we went through this of losing our mother, and we was gonna come together and make some music. That's what sold Andre 3000 to do the record.
Right.
To be on the record is the fact that he lost his mom, and he knows Kanye lost his mom, and they had that in common. But he said he made his verse. He didn't anticipate. Obviously, it was one of those because nowadays some artists don't be in the studio with each other when they make the song. They just send the verse in. Send the verse in, and obviously it's not Andre 3000 song. It's Kanye's song.
Right.
So Andre sent his verse in without even or he probably heard a Kanye verse, or Kanye probably.
He said he didn't. He said he just heard the beat and he wrote on it. Listen, I'm just not for the gimmick shit. Like, let your album speak for itself. Fuck the gimmick shit.
That's always gonna be part of it, though.
Unfortunately, nowadays it is, because there was times where it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? The music spoke for itself. You had a.
I could say I'm not gonna lie. We could somewhat blame 50 for that, because every time my albums, he was gearing up to start an album, 50 would start some bullshit, some controversy.
He's the number one gimmick person. He started the gimmick shit, but again, nowadays it's even more. It's like you can't put an album out without having some gimmick shit. That shit is whack. Leave that shit to the bums. I think Drake and Kanye are too big for that shit. To me, they just too big. That's just my opinion.
But controversy sells. You gotta make it controversial for people to listen. Sometimes people don't want. Obviously, you have your following that's gonna listen regardless. But sometimes when you try to reach more people to listen, you gotta have some controversy behind it. And when it comes to hip hop, people love to hear them disses, some shots fired. People love to hear that. Oh, he's talking about him. Oh shit, and that's a a topic of conversation for like weeks to come. People are gonna be talking about it, especially if it's dope. Like, you came at someone dope and the record's dope. People's gonna be talking about that till such and such respond, and they go back and forth, and that's something people are gonna watch, talk about, and enjoy. So that's why that's forever, especially in hip hop, it's forever gonna be. It's always gonna be like that. Sometimes that's how people get on. They drop a good diss record, they catch the right one to respond, and boom. And I'm trying to come up. That's my come up. I came up at the expense of another artist. I baited him into a battle with me, and he brought so many of his. Especially when you battle someone who's bigger than you, bring more fans to you, more eyes to you. So it's all part of it. But like you said, Drake and Kanye is huge. Like, they're very huge. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people want Drake to talk his shit. Like you're on top of the game talking shit, Drake. Show us why you're on top of the game. Take your shots, talk your shit, flaunt what you do. And I'm pretty sure many people enjoy that from Drake. So, but I felt like him playing the record was more of trying to make Kanye look like the clown for the words he said. But I don't know how he got his hands on that record regardless. It's like
when we find out who gave him that record,
we're gonna find out eventually.
That shit's gonna be more funnier. That shit's gonna be more funnier to me than the fucking him playing the shit. Because once we find out who gave him that shit gonna be funny.
Because I'm sorry. You know damn well they wasn't. But also, shit. Nah, I was gonna say maybe Kanye fucked around and gave it to him. Because I think they did say there was talks of them squashing it and moving forward. I think there was conversation between the two.
You really think Kanye's gonna give him that? I don't think so. I don't think Kanye really gave it to him. Nah, somebody in Kanye's camp definitely gave it to him.
Yeah, so yeah, Kanye gotta look at his crew and see see who did it. But
I
yeah,
can't
but
wait to find out.
hopefully they make it. Now they probably will make it public for the fact that the song was made public and people was able to listen to it. So yeah, in the next couple of days, it should be there should be a name and a face to yeah, this is the homie that leaked the record to Drake. But maybe they won't say it because when when the whole shit happened with the Pusha T dissing Drake and people was like, who was the one who gave Pusha T the information? Drake came out and said Kanye did that. So unless Kanye or somebody says from his team says, "Oh, this is the person who did it," I don't think we'll be finding out. But it'll be interesting to see who was the person who did
Right.
that. Because it's just like it was a whole record, but you know. Then Kanye said he was going to drop the record himself. Like he announced that the record was going to come out, but the record as a whole hasn't came out on no platforms yet. I was gonna listen to it like with its actual release, but
Right.
maybe not yet. Maybe it will be officially released, but we'll see. But it's just interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Moving, talked about this a couple of episodes ago. Talked about this a couple of episodes ago. The whole conservatorship of Britney and her pop, and he agreed to step down, but now it's like it's a little more stuff before he wants to step down. Obviously, it's looking like before he steps down, he wants a buyout. It's a buyout of $2 million, and then after he receives his buyout, he will step down officially after he gets paid off. How do you feel about that? Because we had that conversation.
So
You felt it wasn't about money, but with this,
it's still not about money. When you have a manager, when you have a person who does your music, does your shows, music like sets up shows, sets up record deals, sets up this, sets up that. If you was to part ways with them, you would have to pay them too to get out of that.
Contractually, yes, contractually.
Right. We forget that he was her manager. He was her boss. He was all this stuff. He did put in the work. The same way Beyonce had to pay her dad out. And that was her dad. He's asking for the $2 million so he can give her royalties, give her everything, and get the hell out of that situation. So if you think about it, John, he did play the manager role. And this is why parents should not be managers. And this is why parents should leave their kids and hire somebody else to be that kid's manager, because it becomes a very thin line of business and personal. And people always get it confused. And then now they think you taking advantage of this person personal wise when it's all business. And it's been business with him because he's done most of her work. If she's Britney Spears today, it's because of him. So $2 million to me seems like a fair buyout for the business side.
What I'm saying on the business aspect, obviously, yeah, but it's like with the whole when you look at the whole personal aspect of it, it's like damn, like just worry about like just let her be free and worry about fixing your relationship after the fact, Well, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get it. If that's the price for her freedom of this whole shit, he's gonna get paid. He's gonna get it. They're gonna move on. I'm pretty sure at this point, if that's the set, because that's what it was reported. That's what he's seeking. Maybe
again, it is, but it's money wise. You gotta remember. Again, he's doing this was all business. And sometimes business and personal should not cross because of these reasons. He got y'all thinking this is freaking personal, and it's not. It is not. Sorry to tell y'all that 2 million has nothing to do personal wise.
No, I just see for that whole situation, it's just crazy. Like,
but people gonna think that because that's her father.
You know what I'm saying? For father and daughter be going through that, it's like, damn, like it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It's like you won't relinquish, just let it go. At the end of this, that's your daughter forever.
So do you not get paid for the services you gave? See, and this is the problem. So does he not get paid for the services and for making her? So if you had a different manager when that shit was happening with Megan Thee Stallion and her manager crew and her record thing, again, do they not get paid because they got beef? Should they just relinquish her and let her live her life? No, you need to get paid for the services you did.
I not totally agree. It's like even like if we have a contract, right? You have a contract, and say you have a falling out with that person. It is what it is. It's life. People have fallouts all the time. Y'all on bad terms, but y'all had a contract. If that such and such person wants to move on, that's fine. You're not supposed to let the person, you want to move on, you want to get out this contract, pay what is owed, and you'll be free. A lot of people do confuse that. Some people feel like when it comes to stuff like that, especially when it's fallouts, that one side is being petty or is trying to, but it is what it is. Business, on the business aspect of it, even if we was good, I'll let you go, but you still have to give me the same amount of money when we was good or on bad terms. That's just the contract you signed. So a lot of people don't be knowing thing, but the difference in this situation is like Brittany really never signed a contract. It's father, you know what I'm trying to say? Because she was a minor when she first she was a minor when she first started. So it's always been her dad leading the way. So it's not like she really had a choice. That is just the role he took when she started doing her music as a minor. Because at a certain point, if like you're a child star or whatnot, you can't really do it. It has to be the parents. The parents have to sign off on everything. You can't sign no deals, no nothing. They want to give you an endorsement. The parents have to sign off on it.
Nope, not true. So funny thing, right? So I knew I was going to talk about this, so I did some research. And actually, if you remember the girl from Even Stevens, the sister,
the older sister,
right? I hope the only sister on there, the one that
because he was Solid Buff was the younger brother. She was the oldest. She does more work for Disney. I can't remember her name, but I know you're talking about.
Right, she's done Kim Possible. She's done her movies on Disney, right? Mm-hmm. So she was explaining why now she's broke, but she was explaining how it works. And most kid stars have this legal system set up where the parents can't touch their money. So how it works is Disney especially works because we have to remember Britney Spears came from Disney. Mm-hmm. So the way Disney sets up their kid stars to not be taken advantage of, they get their own financial advisors and they sign contracts with these financial advisors to help their parents not spend their money.
So Disney has a whole platform for it.
Yeah. Right. So Disney basically sets up these kid stars so that their parents really can't touch their money. So the way it was set up was Britney had a contract with her dad after Disney to help her music career. So there was actually a contract, and this is why I say it's very important as parents not to get that line crossed with personal and business. But Britney had her own contract with her dad outside of that Disney shit, which was stupid because Disney already sets you up as a child star.
Well,
so
No, nah, she wasn't when she had that mental breakdown. That's when the court appointed him as the.
Right.
So it was like she wasn't even. I said I assumed that it was since day one. So she actually had a little freedom, and she probably had different people helping her. But
Right.
after that mental breakdown, when she obviously she shaved the head bald, and she probably was going through a lot. That's when he was appointed. He's been
Right.
he's been handling everything since then.
Right. But Britney has always had her money. Again, Disney has set up these these kid stars to not have the same incident that it was one star that he like sued his parents. Who was that? It was Home Alone.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yes. So after that happened, Disney then set up their kid stars where their parents can't actually touch their money, which is
Well,
really so. Disney has set this up for plenty of stars, and Britney was one of them. Justin Timberlake was another one. Like you got to remember, they started at Disney. They didn't just start from nowhere. Yeah. They started at Disney. So basically, Disney set her up. So she never had issues with her money. It wasn't till she started to, have mental issues that he stepped in and he basically was handling her career. He was helping her with her career. And again, it's a very thin line though. Mm-hmm. He played the manager role. So does he not get paid for his services? Do we not say he gets paid for his services? Pay him for the services he did, and then let him go.
Mm-hmm. I understand what you're saying, but it's the only thing is I feel like it's different is he was court appointed. It's like he went to the court like, yo, my daughter is like she's obviously having an episode. She's not in her right mind. I need y'all to put me in charge of everything. So you know what I'm trying to say? It's not like she seeked out work. So whatever work he put in is not like that's not the work she seeked out. So it's like I understand what
but if he didn't step in, Johnny, would she still be Britney Spears? Do you get him? Like she wouldn't be booking shows because nobody at that point wanted to mess with Britney Spears due to her mental health. It wasn't until her family stepped in and became this. Okay, you don't need to appoint somebody in order for them to see that you need help.
That's true.
Pay him for his services. Get him out of her life. But she still needs to get mental help. And at some point, either this is going to come to bite her in the ass or she's going to get the mental help she needs on her own. And I hope she does.
I hope she does too. But at this point, it's like if she really wants to be free of all this, fuck it. Just pay the bread. I think she can afford it. I don't know.
Definitely can.
I'm saying I don't know her financial situation. Fuck it. Follow on that bullshit. Pay him and you can go get your help and live your life happily ever after. It's like, you don't even got to deal with your pops after this whole shit goes where it goes. You don't got to deal with him no more. Even though that's your pop. You could go your separate way, live your life.
Right.
But, hopefully she gets the freedom that she wants. But also, hopefully she gets the help that she needs. And right. But maybe once she's free from this, it'll be, obviously she'll start marching towards the right direction. And she's like, the fact that she's free from this might give her a new take on life and she goes positive route and get the help she wants, not the what she wants, the help that she needs.
Right.
Marching forward. But I don't know. It just seems crazy, like, ask for to have like an exact price of just throw me $2 million. I'm out of here. Throw me $2 million. Yeah, what if they start arguing? I now want 3.5. 3.5. Where does it stop when it comes with the action?
He's gonna stop at $2 million.
I hope so. I don't want to go back, we go back like, damn, Bree, he asking for 4.5 now. It's gone up.
Like he said, he calculated the time and the effort he put into it, and that's what his services was given.
Yeah, but wish everyone the best in that situation. It's family issues, so obviously it's gonna be messy, and then it's being played out in the public eye when it comes to family like that. I feel like that's something that should be dealt with in private for everyone, even celebs. And it's unfortunate when stuff like this gets put in the public eye, because then
right,
everybody has an opinion, negative or positive. But when it comes to family, I think it should be behind closed doors. But unfortunately, this situation is family, but it's also like part of her business also moving forward, because he controls if she's gonna do this show or not. So she can't even do what she wants to do musically. And I'm pretty sure I don't know what's her passion with music or doing shows, if she wants to do that after all said and done, or she just wants to ride off to the sunset. But wish all parties the best, and hopefully everyone gets what they want moving forward, and then they can continue to live their best lives that they want to live. But also this past week, a new versus was announced. How you feel about this versus? Fat Joe versus Ja Rule.
Tell me how many songs Fat Joe got.
Fat Joe got records. I feel like people forget, like, Fat Joe really does have records.
Name three.
Lean Back. My Life. I could go. you gotta give me some time, like naming records. I could name more Fat Joe records. He has features too. Fat Joe has features also that he could play. Also, I said Lean Back, My Life. Shit, I'm acting like I don't know these Fat Joe records. Now, Fat Joe really has records.
What's My Life? I thought you was gonna say What's Love with Ashanti.
I was gonna say the record with Ashanti, but I couldn't remember the name of it. I was gonna say the record with Ashanti, but
here's the thing: when I think of verses, you have to have 10 songs, and so
no, Fat Joe has he has his big pun features. He has his big pun features, but he has records long. Now, Fat Joe really has.
I won't be watching this versus, so you're gonna have to tell me how it is. Ja Rule got some hits. I could probably watch because of Ja Rule, but Fat Joe, I don't know.
Fortunately, my brain's not working, so I will look up my guy Fat Joe. But
I'm just saying, it just none of his songs, but except for What's Love, I mean, okay, but everything else, I'm okay.
No, he has records. He's been rapping for a long time.
Ja Rule gonna beat his butt because Ja Rule's shit hit.
No, but like
don't make that sound. Don't make that sound. Just because you're a 50 Cent lover. Just because you a 50 Cent lover doesn't mean you put down Ja Rule, my nigga.
I ain't put down Ja Rule.
Let's cut it out. Ja
Rule got records because.
All right, as long as you give props to Ja Rule because 50 Cent started doing what Ja Rule did, and then because no. You're not gonna do this.
What I do?
You're not gonna put it down.
I didn't put him down.
Ja Rule started that love songs shit, and then 50 was like, oh, he a bitch for that, and then once he started calling him a bitch, and then Ja Rule tried to go back to like hardcore rap, then 50 started doing that shit. So if we gonna talk about anybody, is
My Life.
Ja Rule.
I said My Life. This Fat Joe song is called My Lifestyle. I said My Life. It's called My Lifestyle. But
Ja Rule gonna win that shit.
Listen, because
we already know Ja Rule gonna win that shit.
Look, Bree, I'm not one of those fans that is like, if my favorite rapper doesn't like this rapper, it's like, oh, fuck that rapper. No, I'm not one of those fans. There's fans like that. No, I'm a fan of everyone's music because a rapper I like is before another rapper. Doesn't mean I'm not listening to other rapper songs. I'm listening to everyone's song. But Ja Rule has great music. That's I grew up on. Even though I grew up on 50 and Ja Rule, but
No, you didn't grow up on there 50. You grew up on Ja Rule, and 50 came later on.
say I was still growing up on thing. I was a little older. Ja Rule was out first. Ja Rule was out maybe 2-3 years before 50 was out. So yeah, grew up on both.
Listen, this versus is just they just picking anybody now. I feel like
It's a good versus for New York. Obviously, I think the verses that they probably would have wanted, but it was never gonna happen, was 50 and Ja Rule.
the verses I want is Nas and Jay-Z. But that shit would never happen.
That would be a good one.
That would be
I don't
the
know if they would do
dopest verses. Right, but that would be a dope verse.
I don't know their stance on you know what I'm trying to say, because sometimes I feel like certain artists feel like they're too big to do the verses. Not saying that's how they feel,
but I'm just saying that would be a dope New York verse.
That would be a good one. Jay-Z and Nas would definitely be a good one. It's just a matter if would Jay-Z and Nas do it.
Right.
That would definitely be a dope verses. Obviously, because they had a history and they're good now, but in friendly competition, that would be dope to see that.
Right. Oh yeah.
That's a good one. Bree, that was a good one. I didn't even think about Jay-Z Nas. But I'm just saying, but off the aspect of it, because I don't know if you watched the Young Jeezy and Gucci Man. That verse is a little crazy, obviously, because they had beef and whatnot, and they came together to do the verses. But I feel like
if 50 and Ja was to do verses, they wouldn't be able to be in the same room.
Yeah, I don't think it would work in the same room. It would have to be the virtual how it was in the beginning.
Right.
The one person's in this place and one person's in this place. I don't think it will be able to work out them in the same room, because I feel like after a track or two, the shit talking probably start, and then it's gonna go left after
everybody knows 50 Cent's talk shit.
This shit was gonna go left. But I think the Fat Joe Ja Rule versus it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be cool.
It will do.
Again, you can't downplay it. You just gotta let the records play, and if they come on how they're supposed to come and they try to win, then look at the Dipset locks. I told you, it doesn't matter how the artist approaches it. I'm just there to play my records. I'm gonna play my records. I feel like off the strength of my records, I'm just gonna win. That's not the greatest formula, but if you go there trying to win the verses, it increases your chances.
Let's see.
But at this point, I know it will never happen, but they should do a Drake and Kanye versus also. Fuck it. Drake and Kanye. Just get them 20 for 20. Or do like a whole special. They could do 30 for 30. And just let them battle it out. But at this point, I don't think they could be in the same room together. But it would be interesting. It would be interesting to watch Drake and Kanye. Because Kanye got his hits, Drake got his hits.
Right.
And it'll be a great show for everybody to watch. But who knows? Who knows? Now, moving on, I'm gonna let you be a little more to carry this, because I know some of her good songs, but I can't tell you, like this is her best songs or these are her whack songs. I'm not supposed to say that, but Glamour Magazine did top 10 best songs of Beyonce, and they did top 10 worst songs of Beyonce. And it came out. So I am going to read you the list of the top 10 best, what they have at best, the top 10 worst. I'm going to let you break it down, what you will take off or what would you add. So top 10 best. Number 10, they got Rocket. Number 9, Love Drought. 8, I Care. 7, Resentment. 6, Dangerously in Love 2. 5, Daddy's Lesson. 4, Haunted. Number 3, Me, Myself, and I. Number 2, Mood Forever. And they had her best song ever. is Formation at number 1.
Why the fuck is Formation continually to be her number 1 shit?
I think it's the message behind Formation.
Fuck that.
So I'm assuming you're not a big fan of Formation.
I love Formation.
But you don't think it's the best record?
Right. And some of this shit on here, man, I want to know who made this list. It had to be a white person. Because nobody in their damn mind put Me, Myself, and I as number 3. Where the fuck is Irreplaceable? You know how long people still say to the left. Like, people still say that fucking line. Where the fuck is Single Ladies? That shit is still played at weddings. Where the fuck? Listen, let me tell you something. This cannot be life right now, right? Where the fuck is Girls Run the World? That video was
that didn't even make the list.
What the? Who the fuck made this list?
All right, so let's go to the top 10 worst. Maybe there's something in the top 10 worst that you might want.
And how dare they put Dangerously in Love at number 6? Who the fuck? That belongs to like number 5. That song showed everybody she could sing. Listen, I don't know who made this fucking list, but they some idiots. So go ahead, go to worst, because I swear to God, if
at worst, number 10 is Superpower.
Okay, that could stay there.
Number 9, Sandcastles. Number 8, Halo.
That's some bullshit.
7, Broken-Hearted Girl.
Who didn't like Broken-Hearted Girl? Let me say that shit still be on repeat. That's on one of my.
Number 6, Sugar Mama.
Oh yeah, that can stay there. That definitely can stay there.
Number 5, School and Life.
That's okay.
Number 4, Best Thing I Never Had.
That was one of the best songs for females. That was like an anthem, okay?
Okay. Number 3, Hip Hop Star. Number 2, for the worst, Kitty Cat.
Yo, that could definitely stay at number 2. Let me tell you something. That was one of her worst songs ever. When I heard that shit, I said, what the fuck was Beyonce thinking? But again, go ahead.
And then number 1, Beautiful Liar. They have that as her number 1 worst song.
Beautiful Liar wasn't my favorite. But it wasn't the worst song, right? So we think about it. We have Irreplaceable that wasn't on any of that list. Love on Top, Best Thing I Never Had. I don't understand why that was on worst. Dance for You, I don't understand why that was on her. That wasn't even on there. If I Were a Boy. Now let's be honest. That shit still to this day gets played. I'm really upset that Rundown, Single Ladies and Girls Run the World was not on her top 10.
Best?
Yes.
And then how you felt about Halo being number 8 on her worst?
Oh, let me say something. Halo is one of, again, when we think about Beyonce showing her voice range, we think of Halo, we think of Dangerously in Love. These are songs that actually prove that she could sing, because a lot of people used to say she couldn't sing. So when she sang these songs and 1+1, you probably don't even know that song, but probably again,
not, but I heard the
female audience, the female, it was a big record though.
My bad. Maybe I didn't hear it. Maybe I heard it, but I just don't know about it.
How Sorry wasn't on there. The Lemonade Sorry, you know, where she's talking about you better call Becky with the good hair. How the fuck was that not on the list as well? Like, we have to, when we think of Beyonce, we think of Lemonade at this point, because Lemonade had such a big impact. That's what started the run for the Run tour, right? The whole cheating scandal and all that stuff was big talk. I'm
pretty sure
Becky with the good hair. People are still saying that line. You better call Becky with the good hair. Like, who? You, when you think of, like, I just don't see how Glamour could do the 10 best songs of Beyonce and don't have her hits. That to me is crazy.
the one thing I could say is with someone that has so many records, when you try to do a top 10, unfortunately, two or three, a couple of records is gonna get left out.
But Drunk in Love got left out. Drunk in Love with Jay.
When that came out, that shit was definitely played a lot. I definitely heard that a lot.
Again, I don't expect everybody to know all her shit because again, a lot of you guys are not gonna know her. Listen, I be playing songs from Beyonce and then be like, what the fuck is that? Because again, if you're not a female, you're not bumping Beyonce, right? But again, they left out some of her big songs, Johnny. Single Ladies.
No, I know that was a big record. And obviously, you said the Irreplaceable. To the left is another big record. But
these are not just records that I would know. These are single. You can't tell me you didn't hear Single Ladies on repeat. Come on, man. Yeah. Like
the one thing I could say is when I read like the reasoning for why such and such is on the list is it seems more opinionated than actual like facts behind it.
Right. See, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Okay. So Single Ladies, their numbers didn't fucking lie. Irreplaceable, that song fucking didn't lie. The best thing I ever had, that song was a fucking hit.
Listen, but like I said, doing the top 10 worst, top 10 best. Obviously, some records is gonna get left out when it's someone that has so many records.
But some of these records you probably never heard of.
I probably did.
You've never heard.
I heard big records. I listened to like
you heard Mood Forever. You heard Mood Forever.
No.
Okay. You heard Formation. You ever heard of Haunted?
No.
Okay.
No.
Again, I've heard these songs because I'm a Beyonce fan. So I listen to her albums, right? Daddy Lessons. You ever heard of Daddy Lessons?
No.
Okay. So these again, but the songs that I named, Single Ladies.
Heard that. Halo. No, me being
Drunken for Love.
Fan. Yeah, Drunken Love. Yes, I heard that.
You've heard of those. Those should have been on the top 10. This glamour list is a personal list. And that's what makes me mad. Because if you was to have opened this up to the public, I'm pretty sure Sorry Not Sorry would have been on there because that's what happened after her sister kicked Jay in the fucking elevator. That shit was big. Like, again, this doesn't make sense. So I don't take this list personal. This list is bullshit. Johnny, move on because this is just a personal bullshit list. It's not even on numbers. It's not even considering the numbers certain songs pulled in. Because Single Ladies, again, was top 1 for like 4 or 5 weeks. So you telling me that's not in the top 10 best Beyonce songs? Get the fuck out of here. That video, so many people make fucking Justin Timberlake went on Saturday Night Live and made a fucking comedy skit off of that video. Like, come on. Mix me with that glamour shit. Give me, if you're going to do that, make sure the numbers back up your shit. Because a lot of these songs, a regular person who don't, like even a guy, won't know what the fuck that is. Unless they listen to the Beyonce album, which I doubt you just sitting around listening to the Beyonce album. See, now I'm getting all heated and shit. Because it doesn't make sense. This shit was solely based on one person's opinion. That's what it seems like. It doesn't seem like it was based on numbers or based on, how like, listen, Formation was good. People love Formation, but that's not her number one shit. After it got played, listen, she did a whole fucking album, she had Brown Skin Girl. She had like, what are we talking about here? Like, listen, I can't deal with that type of shit. Beyonce has too much work to try to put it into a category of 10 anyway, okay? If we're going to talk about the greats, we're going to talk about them properly, okay? And she has too much music to category into 10 worst and 10 best. You can't even category Beyonce songs into 10 worst. people will look at you like you stupid.
But realistically, there are songs that you could say is just not her best.
But not her best. But ain't surely her worst. So
That's what
nah.
If it's not the best, it's not saying the song is bad or trash or anything. It's not if it's not her best, it's the opposite.
No, it ain't no opposite. It's just not her best.
It's just not her best.
When we talking about greats, when we talking about the greats, we talking about Beyonce, right? Right? And we're talking about
not gonna talk down on any of her records, even if they're
right. Because she's Beyonce. Right. Okay. That's like saying Whitney Houston got songs that are worse. That are bad. You can't do that. She's one of the greats. You can't fucking do that. Listen, whoever did this list is an idiot. They didn't put the songs that needed to be on there. That's it. They stupid. Mm-hmm. When I saw that list, I was like, this is stupid. I didn't even go to the worst. I'm like, this bitch is biased. Whoever this is.
Well, that's her list. That's how she feels. But everybody has their opinion. Everybody got the records they love. But so I just know if you're gonna do a top 10, like you said, you shouldn't do a top 10 because you have so many records. But if you're gonna do a top 10, usually with stuff like this, a couple of tracks that you enjoy and love will get left out of the list because trying to squeeze everything to 10, unfortunately, something's not gonna make the cut. But that list, it is what it is. But moving on, Terry Crews seems to be, always finding himself in the news.
He's uninvited. That
going back and forth.
That coon is uninvited to barbecues. I'm so happy we starting to uninvite. See, I like the uninvited to the barbecues more than the cancel culture. I'm just not. Listen, you could go sit at the table with your white friends. Don't come to our barbecues with the with the burgers and the macaroni salads and the good ass Kool-Aid. You could sit over there at the white table. You do that, but you're not invited to our shit no more. You can't expect to be racist. So listen. A lot of people, I hate when people say this, and this pisses me off more than anything else, right? People say this all the time, right? So I'm not for the Black Lives Movement. I'm not for that. I'm just in the middle. So if you're in the middle, then you're on their side. Because right is right, wrong is wrong, right? So you're going to stand with the right side, whatever right is. Mm-hmm. Him saying like, listen.
See, also, like, with that also, you could word it better, you know what I'm trying to say? Because, like, obviously that whole thing is a movement, but you could say, you could also, you didn't have to say, I'm just not with the movement. You could say, oh, I'm for Black Lives Matter, but I ain't for the, like, the group that's doing, like, if you're trying to say if you're trying to say you're not for the protesting, if that's like your way of saying not protest because you want to protect your business dealings with such and such people and you just don't want to get caught up in the politics. No, I'm just speaking like freely. If that's how you're viewing it, just say like, I'm for the Black Lives, but I'm not.
Here's the problem, Johnny.
Stuff
Terry Crews he's Black famous.
You can say that, yeah.
It's not you can say that. He only does Black movies. What movie has he done that he's the main actor and that's considered white stream?
White stream or just a general movie and thing. The only movie I could think of is he was in The Expendables. But he wasn't the main star, but he was in the Expendables. Because obviously he was in Friday After Next.
Black movie.
That's the first road scene. Then White Chicks.
That was a Black movie. It was done by the Marlon Wayne brothers.
By the Wayne brothers, but thinking about it, I can't think of it. I feel like he's had roles here and there, but the only movie I could name off the top was The Expendables. I think he was in the first and the second one. I think there was a third Expendables. I think he was in all the Expendable movies. I think Terry Crews was in all Expendable movies. But yeah, he's one of his more popular roles is him in Friday After Next. Like, well, obviously amongst us is one of his popular roles, and then his role in White Chicks.
Right.
Especially because him singing the song, "Making My Way Downtown." Him singing it is one of the things people remember about Terry Crews.
Right. Again, if you look at his movie list, he was in Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah,
he was
Everybody
the father.
Hates Chris TV
but
show.
Also, that was a Black movie. He was in Norbit by Eddie Murphy. He was one of the brothers. Another Black movie. Again, if we go down the list, again, he wasn't. He was in The Longest Yard. That was an Adam Sandler movie. Again, but he did play a lot in Adam Sandler movies. But that's because they were friends. Again. Listen, I get it. I get it. You do have an opinion. You do get to say your opinion. But you being a Black man in a Black society where the Black society really doesn't really accept you. People would tell you from the industry that how hard it is for Black people to get roles or get awards for their performances. So if that's the case, and then you see us brothers and sisters dying out here, you would think you have a better opinion, especially since you have Black children. But again, I just think him saying to quote himself, "I'm uninvited to barbecues, and that's okay. Y'all can keep that over there." Dude, nobody really. You haven't done anything that you're the main character, and or that you are important. So for me, Terry Crews can go take his cool ass and go sit at the white table where he's not even allowed. Let's people need to start realizing that you not even allowed to sit at the white table, nigga. So you sitting at the children's table because at this point you're not allowed to sit at the Black people table, nor are you allowed to sit at their table. So now you're just sitting with the children, and it's because you're throwing a tantrum. So you go have a seat with those kids and shut the hell up, because you haven't done nothing yet that really you the main actor, or people care to see you. So I feel like he's becoming trying to make himself relevant. Like, you shut your ass up.
Yeah, you could look at it that way. Absolutely. Like, realistically, you don't have to say anything at all. He could just live his life. But he put his 2 cents in. Now it's like every time he speaks on it, he's obviously gonna get backlash, and he continues every time he says something. Continues to get the backlash. But he seems fine with it. He like in his mind, like the way he goes about it, he don't care about that shit. So
right. He makes me mad too.
It is what it is. One of the more things that was very cool, big in the news was Hurricane Ida had its effects. New Orleans lost power and it flooded New York. And New York
was New York got flooded. The grip out of that. Like, it was supposed to hit us as hard as it was supposed to hit New Orleans. And I think it hit New Orleans hard, but it hit us harder. Like, to be honest with you, Johnny, I didn't go to work for like 2 days. There was no train leaving out of New York into Westchester. There was no trains.
That's crazy.
And then I tried to take a cab from the Bronx to Westchester, which usually would cost me like $30. It was $155. I was not paying that. But we got hit so bad.
And that's the crazy part. That's the after effects. That's just like the after of the hurricanes. We didn't really get hit with the hurricanes. Just like, the shit that comes like the after. I don't know what it's called, but the hurricane hit where it hit, and it's like the after.
Did they close down the? I know, because you live on Roosevelt Island, right?
No, the train was good. As long as it's not windy, like the wind that moves it, it can continue going straight and thing.
Oh, okay.
It'll go. But if it's raining really bad,
But it was raining really bad.
it'll be postponed. Cause I'm not gonna lie, there was a time, right? I was coming back. I don't remember where I was coming back from. I took the train. I ran to beat the rain. I made it to the tram. It was a couple of years ago. I made it to the tram. I'm like, yes. As soon as I made it, it started really pouring. Like it was a bad rain. And the train person was like, yeah, we shut down. We ain't going nowhere because the rain is crazy. So I ran all the way over there, made it. I was happy. They turned me back, so I had to run back to the train station to take the train home, and I got caught in the rain. But so it probably while it was raining, if it was raining bad, it was postponed. They probably held up the service, but other than that, as long as it's not too windy, it's gonna run. So the tram don't gotta worry about it being flooded. But I think services was fine. The services was fine.
I know I missed 2 days of work because of
But
it.
I'm not gonna lie, I see like footage. I just didn't even think that shit like that happened in New York the way it was flooded. Like
Yeah,
especially in the
we
city.
gotta,
In the
we
city,
gotta,
it's like what the fuck?
yeah, we
That's
gotta send our
crazy.
respects because it was like 7 deaths in New York, and
That's
I'm just
crazy.
sending my condolences out to
Mm-hmm.
the families.
To,
There was
to
a
the
two
ones that was lost
parents.
in New York and to all the others that was affected and was lost in the other
Right.
state. Because New Orleans didn't have power for like a day or two. They had no power at all. I had to shut down their whole shit. But I'm looking at it like, damn. Like now imagine like if it was to really, really hit New York would have been fucked up.
Right.
Cause now that's crazy. I've never seen New York like that. But New York, I don't know. Recently, New York hasn't been in this shit. There hasn't been a lot of good news for New York lately. It's a lot of bullshit going on in New York, but it's crazy. And transition, New York was one of the states, well, it was the first state to say, boom, you can't go such and such place without proof of vaccine, right?
Right.
So New York was the first state to do that, but now look, Florida seems to take the opposite approach. Florida wants you to go wherever the fuck you want to go, and they feel like if any business asks you for your vaccine card and you notify someone, that business will be fined $5,000. So that's the approach Florida is going with, and Florida is sounding beautiful because this mandating shit sound crazy. So I could have freedom. Shit, might have to make that move. Might have to take my talents to Florida.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Weather's good.
When you
Weather's
get COVID.
good. Can't complain, right?
Listen, Johnny. Listen. Every state has their issues. Okay.
Of course, every state has
So
their issues.
you take just because you can't get the vaccinations, or just because you don't want to take the vaccinations, and Florida right now is in where they don't really care about it. Maybe that's not the move you want to make yet. Just wait it out. Wait it out. Wait it out.
That's continuing to be my plan. I'm gonna wait it out. But it's just crazy that Florida takes that approach, and I'm pretty sure Florida's not gonna be the only state that's gonna take that approach.
Of course not. But Florida has been the number one state to have COVID. That in Texas. Listen.
New York was number one for a little bit too. New York definitely was number one. So I see why New York wanted to. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of this also is a lot of political. There's a lot of political agendas. Everyone's when this all said and done, when they look back at history, is like, I did my part. You can't say I ain't do bad. I did my part. Boom, boom, boom. Get their praise and whatever they try to move forward. A lot of political stuff will be gained behind this whole pandemic when we all look back at it. I'm pretty sure,
all I'm saying to you is, at some point or another, we just gonna have to figure out, this whole vaccination thing. Again, it's still kind of new, and it's still trial and error. And again, Florida may not do that, but Florida has its own issues with COVID and everything. You still gotta get tested and every week and all that other shit just to live life. And who the fuck wants to do that?
Shit. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Dude, you didn't even want to get tested to go to a Yankee game. Why the
I
hell
did
would
get
you?
tested. I did get tested to go to the Yankee game. And with the hassle, I'd rather that hassle than have to get that needle. I'll take that hassle every day. That's just my opinion. But like I said, if you want to take that shot, take that shot. Do what you have to do. But
Again, Florida is just not a place for me. It's for old people.
That's where New Yorkers go. All New Yorkers eventually end up in Florida. You know?
Right, retirement.
You don't gotta go there when you retire. You don't gotta wait till retirement. You can go when you're young and enjoy Florida. The weather's better.
Okay.
Better out there.
There's less jobs up there. We hear the jobs and all that stuff is less. And plus the minimum wage is less, or because of, you're really not making money. So
the cost of living is definitely different because New York is probably New York is number one state for cost of living. I think it's New York, and after New York is California. But those are the two most expensive states.
Listen, I'm just saying it's just not a move that I'm gonna make just because I don't want to get a vaccination. And people who are doing that, yeah, really are stupid.
But
Johnny.
I ain't planning on moving one way or the other. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like the whole mandating it is crazy in itself. So, but no, it seems like each state is not on the same page when it comes to the mandating the vaccine. I just wonder how that's gonna work in Florida. I don't think none of these businesses are gonna get fined. I don't think none of the businesses are gonna act. I feel like those businesses down in Florida is gonna ask, like, wear a mask while you're in the place, and that's it.
Right.
I think that's one thing that's gonna stay is the mask mandate, which I don't have a problem with. You want me to wear a mask? Fuck it, I'll wear a mask. I don't got a problem wearing a mask. I gotta wear a mask going to the store. Fuck it, that's cool. Wear my mask, get what I gotta get, and I'm out the store. That's it. I think it's pretty simple, but everybody has, their opinion. But when we talk about this at the end, I still preach everyone stay safe, still social distance, wear your mask. Even if you have the shot, don't have the shot, wear your mask. Have that Purell on you, that hand sanitizer, and social distance. Don't be in big crowds. Stay safe, because you have that shot don't mean you can't catch it, and because you haven't caught it yet and you don't have the shot doesn't mean you can't catch it.
Right.
Happen to anyone. Stay safe, and that's a wrap on
a
new
episode. We gotta give credit to Beyonce and Offset. I mean, Cardi B and Offset.
Oh yeah, said Beyonce, Offset. Yeah. Oh yeah, their second child was born. Was it a boy or a girl?
It was a boy.
It was a boy. So their son was born on the 4th. What's today's date?
No, it was born on the 7th.
Saturday.
Yeah, they were born on the 4th. Yeah.
So Saturday's the 4th. So yeah, they welcome the new child into their family on the 4th.
Congrats to them.
Congrats to them. Yes. Did they reveal a name or no?
No, not yet.
They just revealed give it a couple of days, because they did take a day to reveal that the child was born.
Yeah, I think they're just celebrating right now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they revealed it today. The child was born, and the child was born Saturday. So give it a couple of days. I'm pretty sure a lot of people was waiting to see what they named the child. But yeah, that will definitely be announced in the next couple of days. So yeah, so that's something to look forward to. But congrats to them. Yeah, they have a new baby boy to their family. And with that, that's a wrap on another Shitty Opinion podcast. It's your boy John, my co-host Bree, and